Right now, it's about 9 o'clock in the morning. We are at a hotel called Lila Hotel, I believe. It's an old colonial hotel. The roof is asbestos, and obviously I have not eaten anything here because asbestos is quite lethal. So I'm not going to eat anything or even to spend time here. Now, in this hotel, you would notice that in the background you'll hear some noises made by the Americans. That's because CNN is on everywhere. It's cable network. It's in the bar, it's at the reception, it's in the restaurant, it's in the room. You cannot escape. So you would run away thinking, I am going to the kingdom of the mighty Langi people, and there'll be a lot of culture and a lot of beauty, and just as you arrive, it is CNN, and they're telling you about their king. It is white people, how white people dance, how white people eat, how white people cry, how white people sing, how white people make money, how white people kill. So you can't run away. You can't run away from that. It's like overwhelming, and it is everywhere. Now, a few days ago, one of my colleagues pointed out that the Arabs, the Arabs who mainly live in Africa, because there are more Arabs in Africa than there are Arabs in the world. The Arabs colonized Africa. They took off north of Africa. They took up a significant section of North Africa, and they intend to keep it. Now, they have over 900 channels. 900 channels, which means an Arab has access to over 900 television channels, television images, all in their language, all in Arabic. Of course, and even when in other networks like European networks, international dish, European dish. Now, even some of those networks, when they are broadcasting to Arab countries, they transform, they change their language to Arabic, and when they show a movie, they change the language to Arabic too. So and the main activity at this hotel is what? It's everywhere I have been, in every kingdom that I have visited. When I stay in a hotel, there is always a workshop on health, and that health workshop is mainly so-called family planning. Birth control, kill your children, reduce your population. And you see all them white people and all them black people dress smart, holding their notepads and their mobile phones and their smartphones, and having a bag at the back and small airport suitcases, and they are rushing to this meeting. How to plan to inject your arm with more plant and Depo-Provera, and how to prepare your body to reject the fetus. They are not meeting to show you how to grow sorghum and to build a very big silo. No, they are not meeting to show you how to get peanut groundnuts and make it into peanut butter, how to spin cotton into threads and make a yarn. They are not meeting to say, let us do a very big field of grain. No. They are meeting to say, you are too many, we will reduce your population. Now, this area of Lila had beautiful industry, some of which we are going to visit. They had Lila spinning mill. This was a strategic industry. Actually, in the morning, I was speaking to Professor Ephraim Kamuntu, who is the Minister of Environment. And, Professor Kamuntu was a minister in Obote's administration, and Obote had set up this strategic industry. The strategic industry was people grow cotton, so you need them to make threads. The threads do a yarn, and you make your own clothes. Now I understand that that factory used to employ 6,000 people. 6,000. When white people persuaded Uganda to go into privatization, sell everything you have, so that the country has nothing, that factory was sold, I think, to a Japanese crook, because we always think of Japanese as straightforward people, but this Japanese crook sold most of the machinery from the spinning mill, and now I understand it was bought by Mukwano, and he's just using it for oil. Mukwano has been suffering with oil as well. Apparently there's an American company, I forgot the name, but it is funded by United States Information Agency, and their role is to sabotage the oil production in Uganda by importing cheap oil. That company is based in industrial area. Very soon I will tell you its name. And what they do is they import cheap oil so that they can flood the market with oil. Uganda's oil production can go to the dogs, and then we shall start importing oil from America. But anyway, Rira spinning mills. There was also another factory here that made starch. Starch being one of the ingredients that you need, to make a lot of products, including pharmaceuticals. That one, I don't know the status, but I was told that it was bought by an unknown person from this region, and we don't know what happened to it. But before I leave Lira, I will have told you what happened to that industry. Then I understand also that the government recently set up, maybe four years ago, an industry or a factory that makes peanut butter. They spent over 1 billion. 1 billion, yes. 1.3 billion to set up a factory that does peanut butter. I also intend to find out what happened to that factory. But my job today is to meet the king of the Langis. Here they call him a chief. Europeans are quite clever. When it's Africa, they call a chief. A chief is the leader of their people. A chief can also be a boss in a company, in a factory. But when it's European, they call him king. And a king means something grand, something majestic. It also means somebody who has the best qualities, almost talking about them in superlative. So we are meeting the king of the Langis, and we want to talk about culture and to see, how we can mobilize this community and this population using their culture as a means of economic advancement, to be able to set up at least 4 factories that they can control and to be able to promote their culture. In the morning, I was seated with the owner of this hotel, who is also a minister in government, Honorable Samuel Ngola. Him and I, we did some things in Congo where we were trying to bring peace, each one in their own way. Now, in his hotel, in the hotel, you cannot the coffee they serve is Nescafe. So which means the coffee comes from here. They have started growing coffee, by the way. The Langi area now, I think, has planted over 1 million seedlings. Before, they never used to do it. So the coffee comes from here. It goes to England. It is turned into Nescafe. It is then exported back here and then sold to you in a hotel at an exorbitant price. So once the Africans begin to wake up, I think all this will disappear. All this will dissipate. You shall be able to go in an African hotel and get coffee made in that particular hotel and get food made in that particular hotel, so that the money can remain in that economy. Last night, and on this particular occasion, there was some celebrations to mark the 26th of January, when another phase of the struggle to bring Uganda back to stability was launched. And there were a lot of young people dancing, except, what I expected it would be like traditional Acholi dance, man. And it wasn't traditional Langi dance. No, it wasn't traditional Teso dance. No, it wasn't. It was a dance now that has, taken over, most of Uganda. Some mix of Kwasa, some mix of Lingala, women shaking their behind, all the things that I don't, no. I wanted culture, something cultural. And looking at this area, and looking at how much land they have, and how land is flat, so you can grow food with a tractor. You can irrigate, you can divert water and create a canal, and this canal can irrigate crops, and man, you can establish a ranch, and the cattle, will graze. And this, no question, will become the bread basket and the bread granary of the entire, region. This once the people unleash their potential, once the meetings begin, to be about food production and not about reducing your population, once our people wake up to wanting to wear their own clothes and eat their own food and take pride in their own culture, and not dose themselves with alcohol, I think the situation will change. And God knows we will be seeing a resurgent, completely beautiful area, at production with itself. And for now, we will let you in on the secret. We should go and meet the king of the Langi, and you're going to be there with us. But before then, we shall take you on a small tour of what happened to Lila Spinning Mill. And yesterday when we were coming, we saw on Obote Avenue a massive market, really, really massive. I mean, I don't know how much money was spent. I'm told that Ginger Market is the largest, then Hoima is the largest, but surely Lila is, should rank as one of the largest markets. It looked well done as well. Well done by standards of markets of towns. Hopefully we shall also show you that one.
We produce a lot of cotton.
Yeah, well, Uganda was the second after Egypt.
So this factory is the second largest in Africa?
Yes, the biggest is in Egypt, it is the second one. This spinning. Our product...
And it's being underutilized.
This is what we have forgotten. I think people have
poorly handled.
How much the contribution that this can make to an economy. So you are saying that the Langi are really keen to growing cotton. Cotton
not Langi only. We from the north. Even actually, all this cotton we have collected, some are from Puranga, some are going from West Nile, from Pade, all here, not Langi only. But this is a good reason for what? For cotton.
Wow.
The greater north.
That is why they have centralized it here.
And do people wear new clothes here or they wear second-hand clothes?
Here, depends on your pocket. If you have much money, you buy the new one.
You have not got it. What he's saying, if Urimi thinks this one is producing up to the cloth.
Yeah.
No. Well,
he thinks it's up to the clothes. They are only to the level of yarn.
Yeah. To the level of yarn.
So they are not making clothes.
No.
It's a shame that people who produce cotton wear second-hand clothes.
We are putting on second-hand. And that's why you have a lot of skins.
Yeah.
You have a lot of skin diseases because you put the same thing.
And when they put on your cotton, they appear to be so important.
Yeah. Very smart. So it's a question of from the yarn we can put another wing for making clothes. To the finished product.
For those smart ones, they buy yarn from here, go and process and
then they revise the product, which is more expensive.
This is a battle worth fighting. To say this is what our mothers produce, this is what they should, they should process, and then have the final product, and it can employ more.
probably more than 6,000 will rent houses in this town.
Yes.
And all the
People
money
know how
will
to
be.
produce cotton. So
As
you
you-
don't have to teach them.
As you will hear later.
Yes.
Akobe no
Yeah,
no
approach some
group one
This place would as many as 10 factories. producing these are established. 10 different factories, including a big textile mill.
In this factory, in here, in this building that you're looking, there were equipment to they had capacity to manufacture their own spare parts. So they didn't have to import spare parts from anywhere. I mean, you know, standing here with the Langi Prime Minister of the mighty kingdom of the Langi. I know sometimes he sells himself short by calling it a cultural institution, but this is a kingdom, and our king is not a chief; he's a king. You know, here the king is more respected than everybody else. The cultural leaders are more respected than politicians, than ministers of government, and therefore, if they decide, you know, to move together to revive this factory that we are seeing here, there's nothing that can stop us. You've seen the amount of effort in terms of cotton that our people are producing. It's really painful to know how hard they work and on how little they get. And then these people, you meet them on the road with tattered clothes, tattered second-hand clothes. This is sad. You know, but now we will change that, won't we, Prime Minister?
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And it will change the whole kingdom.
It will change the whole region.
Employment will not be a problem because we can. Initially, it was employing over 6,000 people.
Yeah.
So we have the graduates, we have many people.
Yes.
So if we revive it,
Yes.
6,000 of our students,
Yeah.
our people, or our children will be here.
Yeah. And then think of all the skills, the skill base that existed here. You know, you will find most of the people who are doing all these things are seated in the village. You know, maybe eating mira, or you know, drinking, or doing some menial work. You know, when they have all the skills, you know, to come and contribute toward this country's development. I mean, I'm really amazed. I've heard of Rira spinning mill. You know, Kano More told me about it last time. He told me how many people it employed. He told me about the grid that it, you know, was extended from Jinja, you know, coming directly here. But I had no idea of the scale and the fact that people have continued, regardless of being, forgotten by the planners. They continued producing cotton. You know, and then, you know, if we are talking about value addition, and we are talking about increasing people's income, this is something that people are doing on their own without propaganda. I don't think there's any advert that has told somebody to grow cotton.
No.
You know, but they are growing it anyway. And this is amazing. It's really, really amazing. Sitting there in all those bays.
CTO is also doing it.
Yeah. The Cotton Development Authority.
So they are here.
Yeah.
They're also in the region here.
But
you see, the whole thing is not properly coordinated.
Yes.
Exactly.
And it's not benefiting
the people.
The people.
Yeah, it's not.
It's like exploitation.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
You produce something and you remain poor.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're stagnating.
Yeah.
Yes, people are going up.
Yeah.
It's
A small shirt, undergarment, or underwear in America will cost about $15. You know, but the person who produces 1 hectare of cotton doesn't even get that amount of money. You know, that's really sad. But now I think
Now that you have seen, wealth creation, cultural leaders take over the place, and we go more mobilization, because these people, people have respect for them, the culture, more than the government. So if they talk, people listen to them. And then wealth creation is a part of what we are doing.
Exactly.
Household income. The two, one married together,
they produce a transformation.
That's well.
It will transformation.
And that's the way to go.
Absolutely.
And what is here should not only happen in Lango. All over Uganda, they are actually the same thing. In Teso, in Karamoja, the similar thing. That's cultural leaders. Since the government of Uganda, I don't know government, support culture, then That's a
and
way
then
too.
that would be the culture of wealth as well.
Exactly.
I've seen in Buganda.
Yeah.
The kingdom of Buganda is moving so hard.
Very hard.
To bring people, go back home, go for production, than selling land and buy a picky and ride in
the next day you have spoiled it.
Accident or stolen.
You had an accident, you're in a hospital.
No dead.
And then your father's land is gone forever.
I think with the improvement of the function of this factory, eventually will reflect back. People will be encouraged to grow more cotton. We council leaders will come in to encourage them. So automatically the prices will improve.
The signal it would also say, you know, for the cooperation between all the institutions.
Yes.
You know, with people's leaders, elected leaders,
you know,
government. This would be powerful.
The Russian technicians, when they came, they got so impressed.
Yes.
Finding their machine still intact
Really?
and working.
Yes.
They were like, we are in heaven.
When was this?
This was in 2009.
Okay. 2009?
Yes.
But that's recent.
Yes. We are going to say, we shall tell you all these stories.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. There was also an attempt to bring him the council leaders, to bring him the Lango Kingdom to take over.
Yes.
He also knows the whole
That
story.
is what we are going into.
I
I think that's why you are here.
Oh, wonderful.
So when I heard you asking questions, I was so I was so moved. I said we are in the right direction.
No, my thing is our people must take charge of institutions within their own economy, within their own. Why would an Indian come from India to come and run an industry here when you are just walking by riding a bicycle? That is not that's not Pan-Africanism. Pan-Africanism is controlling the economics within your own economy. You know, I don't even favor me coming from Bushenyi to come and take over this factory. I want the people who grow cotton here, who see it, then once they are satisfied, they can invite their brothers from Teso, from wherever to come, you know, and share in the wealth. But then somebody comes from India and none of us complain. Somebody comes from China. You know, why did they trust the Chinese? Why not you? Why not somebody? Why not a kingdom?
This industry it's better than water was meant for. This was meant for industry. They pick the water like 1 year up to here.
So this could be 1 million times better than Namunkekera. I mean, you have more because in Namunkekera they are just rebuilding, but you have the infrastructure. You have the water, you have the high-grade electricity, you have the railway.
The railway system as well. It goes even to Kenya.
I would say you would be better than Namunkekera.
You know, Professor, initially, Bobote wanted Lango to be an industrial, Lira to be an industrial city like India. That's why I voted electricity here. The best water supply in Uganda is from Lango in Lira because it picks from Kachum and gravity tanks. If you drive along the road, you see gravity and water treatment plant, you wonder. But being even natural water, they are complaining. People are not using the water in there. They are not in business. There's too much water.
But
that's what.
What are these now? Seeds? These are Mokwano.
They have rented.
No, he's renting from who? From the whoever takes care of it.
The Rwenzori.
Rwenzori is the one.
The Rwenzori is the...
Rwenzori cotton ginners.
Rwenzori, in fact, this place is still under Jitco, and Jitco has given it to Rwenzori to take care of it.
Jitco, the company
that's all
the machines.
It was then taken over by the bank, Barclays Bank. After having taken by Barclays Bank, the Barclays Bank have said now we take care of this place. So the money is here.
So it's actually the property for Barclays Bank at the moment.
I don't know that one, but
Barclays gave to what?
Barclays
gave to
Rwenzori.
To caretaker.
I don't know.
Rwenzori to caretaker.
I'll tell you that.
So you know Abdan, the one.
Don't worry.
No, I've seen what he said.
Was it like a capture?
Yeah, yes.
I'm good at putting different heads together to achieve specific results. And I know that you used to have a gold mine here. Now it is now it is not a gold mine anymore, but I'm sure you want to go back to the days of...
Yeah, of course.
So that's why we come to look around, and I'm grateful to the Prime Minister and to Kano More and to the Presidential Advisor. So if it is possible, I would have liked to have one of your senior people, to just exchange a few ideas.
He only have the accountants.
Can you insist?
And you are now part of the Barclays Bank.
Everybody now
gave you to them.
Yeah.
Oh, they even bought you.
Do you have other generals in Kasese and Bushani?
We have in Kasese, Roma, and Chituga.
Okay, so this is the fourth. Yeah.
So I'm called Dr. Richard Naman. I'm the Prime Minister of Lango. And his own lady, my previous Minister for Industries and Presidential Advisor. So we have come with these visitors. He's going to introduce them, and then they will also talk a bit to bring you into the...
Our chief guest for today is that gentleman. He's an adult. He will introduce himself better so that we can interact with you.
My name is Professor Kuba. I am the director of the Pan-African Center for Strategic and International Studies. And in partnership with government, I am visiting different kingdoms and cultural institutions to look at how they can increase wealth, within their region, and also support industry that exists within, their particular kingdom. And we heard that with your effort, you have managed to get this slumbering institution into some form of economic activity and to employ our population, of which we commend you. I know you are not a politician, but an accountant. Yeah. But what we have seen and observed is only good news, and it can only bring a good benefit to yourself. So we didn't want to come and see and go without meeting a member of the management. Yeah. To know how our population can participate, what we can do to support your activity. If there is anything that the government can do, we lobby. We don't have the power to direct government to do anything, but we can lobby. And you have seen that we are accompanied by the Prime Minister of the Lango Kingdom. That man there is an important man. He's the coordinator for Operation Wealth Creation, regional coordinator. There are so many districts. And Operation Wealth Creation is a strategic initiative by government to make sure that we too can rise up and become like India, make our own clothes. I mean, you remember Gandhi at one time called every Indian to put their clothes, European clothes, in the fire and go back to the spinning wheel. Now I hope you are going to teach us how you did it. I believe you are from India. Are you from India? So we also want to make clothes, and when we find you, with cotton, we know that is the stage. So that's really why I insisted that you can't go without seeing you. plus we want to know like how much cotton is produced. I don't know whether they have statistics for the region, but at least the one that comes here. Then we can encourage people to grow cotton, how much money they receive, how they can benefit. If you have any idea that you can give us on how our people can benefit, from cotton. That's really the short visit. I'm sorry it's impromptu. We just came to see and to appreciate and to interact and to see if we can support. But we are already supporting you by asking our population to produce cotton for you. And that's it.
My name is Amit Patel. I'm an accountant. I was here last season, but now I have been transferred to Kampala office. But I have come to see how the things are going, in case if we need any improvement or something like that. And compared to last season, this year we have more crop than last year. Last season we did 2,300 something bales in this premise, but this season at least we 2,300. 2,300.
Last year.
No, bales.
And each bale is how many kilos?
And one bale average kilo is 190 kg a bale. We are happy that this year we sell in at least 4,000 bales this season. So far we already finished 1,800 bales. But still we have some cotton to gin and still we are receiving from the farmers.
What do you think was responsible for increasing the amount of cotton produced?
I think first the price is also this time, it is also same price than last year. But since it is a cash crop, and the rain also has support, weather also has support, that's why the crop still is more than the last year.
What capacity have you got in terms of you can buy any capacity?
Any capacity until they will say now we don't have cotton.
And you pay how much per kilo?
1,300 per kg. Delivered to generic.
For export?
Yes.
You really export?
Link we export and seed we sell locally. Whoever wants seeds we sell locally for cooking oil. But the link we export.
So the seeds are for cooking oil?
Yes. Cooking oil and cake. Animal feeds.
And for planting?
For planting also.
How much is the kilo?
That one it is empty who make the bill.
No, I mean for the seeds.
Seeds, no, we don't know the price. It is MD who make the deal with the buyers and he tell us that we load this quantity to these persons.
So what about if I walked in and now I wanted 1,000 kilograms?
I can give you the contact to MD. So he can tell you better. We found the system was too old and it was made in China. Now as of now when you move the G9 hall, you've seen those machines is Bajaj. That is made in India. Now before it was Chinese machine. When we tried to run first season with those machines, we had a lot of problems, breakdowns, every time breakdowns. When we tried to get the spares, it is difficult even to get the spares in Kampala. Especially you have to go to China and order that spare from there. And there is no guarantee that that spare will take with this season 1 year or 2 years. No. You put today, tomorrow you will find the same thing as spoiled. So last season we decided to put the new plant. So it is last season we installed this whole plant new. But now since our financial position was not able to even replace the spinning, we are still planning for spinning. We also know that we don't want to export lint. We want to export cloth and yarn. But we are still not able on that financial position to put new machine on the spinning. We operate in Kasese, we operate in Paromo. That is our own. Kasese is our own. Paromo is our own. Then one of Kitum we are on lease. We are hiring engineer in Kitum. And this is also on loan which we are paying through bank.
This one?
Yes. But for Kasese and Paromo it is our own.
What are you, so you producing growth in Kasese?
No. Kasese they don't have plant of spinning. They only jeans and we have school. Even Paromo same, Kitum same.
Where are you in Kasese? What part of Kasese?
Barada Highway.
One of the now you went to know how much, you told us how much the lean, how many cotton per kilo, and now we are saying how about the seeds, which you are saying the byproduct and for seeds planting. You went to know. Then how do you account for that? For
seeds, you know this, the seeds we can just.
Because I want to make a comparison.
Now, as of now, we are just supplying seeds to the buyer. They are dealing with the MD, but the invoicing, it is end of when we finish supplying the seeds. That's when they will tell us that you give this invoice to him, this to this, this to this. Until the season is not over, we are not sure that how much he has made the bread.
Second question, how do you relate this cotton development organization? How do you relate this cotton development organization, CDO?
CDO is the government of the cotton. Whatever we are dealing, it should pass through them.
You get to the seeds, they buy?
Yes, they buy from the genus, not on one genus. They buy the good, they choose the quantity of the genus, they buy, they take to their dressing plant, they dress that seed for planting, then they distribute to the...
Last but not least question, why is your place very dirty?
Which one?
This place looks very dirty.
No, we have been putting the people for cleaning, but since the season is dry, no, I know that, but since the season is dry, you put today, you clean today, tomorrow morning you will find the same thing.
I thank you very much for all the effort that you have done to invest. We know how difficult investment is. And hopefully when we come back next year, we will be buying some wonderful garments from you.
Uganda.